Can this be our first hybrid lens? Let's find out. Hi, my marketing guy here. I've been looking for a lens that could really give me that cinematic Hollywood type image right out the gate. I've been trying to deviate a little bit from the photo lenses that many of us are doing our filmmaking with. No shade to those lenses. Those lenses are great. They're sharp, they're clean, they're great for marketing images, they're great for product images, aesthetics, and what have you. But I've realized that a lot of clients are shifting towards that more organic, cinematic look that we're so used to seeing when we're watching Netflix or any premium movie that we watch these days. So I went on a hunt for a Cine lens that was affordable, but most importantly, gave me that organic look without breaking the bank. I mean, we could start off with the price. I mean, this thing is $550. I mean, it's considered a budget lens, but make no mistake, the quality that you're getting from this lens is something that's worth thousands more. There's lenses like the Nisi, the DZO Film, Mikey. Those all are considered budget lenses, but are they giving us that cinematic look when we buy a cinema lens? That's the question, right? Well, I'm gonna tell you that this lens definitely does that. What I realized with the other budget lenses that are still very sharp, and even lenses that are not budget that are very, very sharp, what you're paying for really is the body of the lens. You're not necessarily paying for that organic cinematic look. Sometimes you will, depending on the lens, but for the most part, cinema lenses are expensive because of the housing or the body that they're in. Let's take the Sigma 18-35, for example. If you buy the photo version of that lens, you're gonna spend about $250 to $500 used for a clean copy. I got mine for $250 and it's great. But if you go and buy that very same lens, very same glass that will give you the exact same image, you're gonna spend $1,300 to $2,000 just because it's in the cine body. You're paying for the body that it's in, not the optical elements and not the look that you're getting. In my opinion, I feel like if I'm getting a cinema lens, I want to have a cinematic experience when I'm looking at those images. Now, being that this 7Artisans lens is already in a cinema body and it already has a cinematic look to it, I believe that this lens is extremely well priced compared to its competitors. Now, in terms of build quality, this lens it's like a gun. Like, it literally feels like I'm holding a weapon. It is built extremely, extremely well. The focus ring, the aperture ring are extremely well dampened, super smooth like butter. It is just an amazingly built lens. I'm so shocked that 7Artisans didn't skip out on anything. I mean, the only thing I could honestly say is that it doesn't have weather sealing, but truly at this price point, doesn't feel budget at all. And again, this lens is definitely on par with lenses that could cost thousands more. So take that into consideration, guys. This is a very well built lens. Now, in terms of performance, this is where this lens truly shines. Remember when I told you this could be our first hybrid lens? Well, the reason why I say that is because wide open, it gives you that really Hollywood cinematic look right out the box. Even when you stop it to like f2, f2.8, you're still getting that Hollywood look. Stop it down a little bit more and it gets sharp, but it still maintains the Hollywood character. Even when wide open though, the sharpness is not as sharp. Obviously, when you stop it down, it's gonna get sharper, and that's inherent to any lens. But even wide open, it's still fairly sharp. You know, it's not like completely unusable. It's really, it's not meant to be sharp. It's meant to be, again, cinematic. It's meant to be organic. It's meant to give you that vintage. It's meant to give you that Hollywood look. There's a reason why Hollywood likes to film with vintage, old school glass. We even have brands like Moment that created a device that allows you to attach a lens to your current photo lens that is super clinically sharp to turn that very sharp lens into a very imperfect lens. It adds stigmatisms, aberrations, softer corners. We even have software plugins like Dehancer that helps us dirty up our images. It creates chromatic aberration, bloom, haze, film grain, all these things that we are so used to seeing in Hollywood films. Again, these are the things that, Hollywood is looking for. So why is it that so many of us are still looking at all these super expensive photo lenses, the G Masters that are super sharp, and again, it's good for certain use cases, but we could get this budget lens for a fraction of the cost that's gonna give us a better image, an image that our eyes are used to seeing in Hollywood and in Netflix and in premium content. If you look at the Helios 442, for example, that lens is technically imperfect in so many different ways, but it's perfect for Hollywood, which is why it was used in the movie Batman, right? I mean, did you notice that it was imperfect? No, that movie was cinematically perfect. The lens does show some focus breathing, but it's not a deal breaker. Some of the best Hollywood movies that we've seen has focus breathing, you guys, so that shouldn't be the main thing that a lot of us indie filmmakers are looking for, and people who are in the business of doing marketing for small to medium-sized companies. We're not making Hollywood films here. A lot of us are just doing marketing work for small to medium-sized companies or even larger companies. Ask yourself, how often are you focusing from minimum focus to infinity? Again, that's something that you would see on a high-end Hollywood film, but not so much when it comes to short marketing ads that we use for social media. Another thing that this lens does that makes it quite a unicorn is that it works very well with full frame cameras. I mean, I have it on my A7S III, and as you can see here, the vignetting is really not that bad. It's a little soft on the corners. You can see a little darkness, but it's extremely usable. And if you use clear image zoom or you put your camera into Super 35 mode, we all know that this lens is going to be extremely usable. It's going to bring it to about a 50 millimeter focal length, but it's going to be very useful for people who have full frame cameras as well. In my opinion, I think these flares look really, really, really nice. As you can see here with the street lamp, it has these nice circular flares that it puts out. Very cinematic, very smooth looking, very creative look that you could have with this particular lens. Even in the night shots here with the cars passing by, you can see those nice sunburst flares that's coming out of the headlights. And if you do want to control it, you could always put a matte box. In terms of the bokeh here, as you can see in this image, it just looks really stunning. It's super smooth, super creamy, great subject isolation here. I'm wide open here at T105, and you can see that background. It just looks smooth, smooth, smooth. No complaints in the bokeh department. 10 out of 10 in my opinion. This lens, again, I absolutely love it. I think it's an awesome lens. I think it's gonna give you that organic look that you're looking for. Wide open, it's awesome. It lets a ton of light in. Flaring is great. Build quality is great. Now, if you want a lens that's gonna give you that cinematic look, that Netflix documentary look, I'm sure a lot of you have been in the same boat or in the same boat as me, and we couldn't get that look because we were using photo lenses. It doesn't really matter if you know how to color grade. Yes, that's important, but acquiring the footage that already has a filmic look is truly the foundation of a cinematic look. You know, you could color grade to your grave and it'll have a great look, but the lens itself is what truly lays down the foundation for the color grade and everything else that you do, and your lighting and what have you. This lens is truly a unicorn, truly a hybrid in my opinion. For the price, you cannot beat it. It really is a very stunning lens, and I highly recommend it. I honestly think that if this lens was a lens from the 50s or 60s and it was rare and hard to find, this lens would easily be worth 3, 4, 5,000, if not more. Again, I've done a lot of extensive research on old school Canon FD lenses, the K series, I believe. I'm not sure. I know they filmed the Alien movies with those Canon lenses, and those lenses are extremely rare. They're extremely imperfect, but they're loved by Hollywood. Again, 7Artisans, I really think that they really tried to get that optical formula in this lens to give it like that vintage character, and they really hit the mark with it. I really think that they did. I don't have a lot of bad things to say about this thing. It really is a great lens, and I will be using it for a lot of future projects, especially narrative ones. I think it's going to be awesome. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm a new channel and I'm trying to grow. And if you have any suggestions on other things that you would like me to review, please leave them below. Peace, you guys.